Let me tell you a story about how the first manifestation happened. Once upon a time, there was an author who set out to write a best-selling novel, the masterpiece that would define his legacy. As he began, he poured himself into impressive world building with a diverse cast of characters. Heroes, queens, villains, anti-heroes, and even minor characters without much purpose other than being fillers. Every day, the author would sit down to write. If the chapter was narrated from a hero's point of view, the author would slip into that persona completely, embodying kindness, empathy, and generosity with every word. When the chapter unfolded from a villain's point of view, the author would take on the persona of this evil person driven by darker impulses such as deception and violence. And in chapters featuring multiple POVs, the author would dance between personas to play out the elaborate scene. All of these characters, right from the mightiest ruler of the kingdom to the stray dog on the streets, they were all mental projections of this author's mind. Even the non-living elements, the trees, the mountains, were born from his creative imagination. In essence, all these characters were the author himself, just expressed in wildly different forms. One day, something extraordinary happened. These characters came to life, but they forgot about their real identity as the author and instead became convinced that their assigned persona is who they truly are. Now the heroes wage war against the villains, whom they see as enemies, obviously. They fight other heroes in competition, all the while forgetting their true shared nature. But they know that there is an author out there, someone who controls their destiny. So they pray to him to write a better story for them with happy endings, interesting plot twists, but no tragedies. Some of these characters even insist that their version of the author is the only true one, while others look up to false authors who don't even exist. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Sometimes the author takes on a divine form that hasn't forgotten its true nature and directly steps into the story to offer these characters the gift of devotion until they realize the truth. The characters joyfully embrace his divine incarnation and participate in his cosmic game, all the while forgetting that they themselves are the author, whom the Upanishads call the Brahma. If you're still with me and the story clicked, then congratulations, you've just understood the gist of Advaita Vedanta. Advaita literally means non-duality, teaching us that all of us are simply diverse manifestations, creative expressions of the same supreme mind Brahma, aka pure consciousness with a capital C. That there's only one true reality, and this separation we perceive between individuals, animals, or surroundings is merely an illusion, a holographic projection called Maya, manifested by Brahma, the cosmic mind. What was that the ancient sages said? Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahma, because we all are, in essence, that divinity. That's how the first manifestation happened. But now you might be thinking, okay, Prajakta, this sounds fascinating and would probably make for an interesting sci-fi movie script. But what's in it for me? How could this possibly be relevant to me in real life? Look, not everybody's ready to walk the path of self-inquiry and knowledge just yet, and that's okay. The beautiful thing about Advaita Vedanta is that you can use this very story-building concept to manifest what you want in life. There are two specific techniques, narrative embodiment and the movie to game method, which I'll break it down in my next video. After hearing about non-duality, you might also ask, but Prajakta, how can I think of every person as just another version of me? When my team wins the trophy over other teams, I'm going to celebrate. When terrorists attack innocent people in my country, I'm going to feel angry. I'm not just going to sit there thinking, well, that terrorist is also me, just differently expressed. You don't have to go that far. The power of any philosophy isn't in taking it to extremes, but in selectively extracting the values that help you grow. Because honestly, even the most profound philosophy becomes a prison instead of freedom when pushed too far. If you want to know how the two methods work, like, share, and subscribe and see what happens. Until next time, old souls.